Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33 teachings for your past, present, and future. Good morning, everyone. It is the 14th of August here in Auckland, New Zealand. For our international listeners outside of New Zealand and in the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter here at the moment, so it is a chilly morning. So if you're listening to this, I would really appreciate your outreach skills to be able to share what I do here on your Insta stories, tagging, following, subscribing, doing all the things, whether you are on the app, the Beacon, on Spotify, on YouTube. It really helps me grow this platform. I'm dedicated to the spiritual journey for your soul progression here every week, regardless of whatever is going on in my life. I'm showing up for you, and I really appreciate you being here. As we go recap for last week, it's been such an interesting time. I have had the most incredible messages from Spirit for my clients. I shared one of them on my Insta stories. If you missed it, it was a client had come for a soul ceremony. I don't even remember who now because I had a few of them last week, and which is the top tier of seeing me face to face in person. And this person came to see me, and I don't think they really knew what they were coming for, which is always a great thing because I love it when people come with no expectations or expectations of how far the information will go for their soul progression. So I remember, Spirit is, because I always tell you the Spirit's really clever because, most human beings, and this is no criticism to anybody because I have been in this position myself, are completely asleep, completely in denial to what's there for them, what they're here to do. And this is where I come in with my gifts to be able to assist you. So Spirit gives us information to validate things that come through me. So with this client, I think it was her grandfather that came through and said, Bon anniversaire. And I repeated that to the client. I said, happy birthday. And the client looked at me and said, well, it's my birthday in a couple of days. And I said, well, there you go. I said, your granddad's hanging around and knows it's your birthday. And it was a big birthday too. It was a new decade coming in. And then I had another experience with a baby coming through with, a name for the mother. We had some other incredible sessions last week, and Spirit is just so communicative, and they're just so excited in terms of what they're giving us. So this means that you will be receiving your own instincts and intuition around what you need to know. The story's coming to me now. There was a client, and this is a client I'd seen before, and this was an online session. This is how smart a Spirit is. Doesn't have to make sense to us, but they always put things into my third eye. And the thing they put into my third eye before I went online was the image and the story of another client that lives somewhere very far away from New Zealand. And I could see this, I have a lot of clients, literally thousands. And I don't remember everybody. And they were showing me the vision of this particular client that is overseas from me, from New Zealand. And they were telling me, tell your next client online the story of the client that we're showing you in your vision. So I was thinking, what the hell for? And I went online and I told my client this. I said, look, this sounds weird, but I need to start telling you this client's story because it's apparently related to you. And I started telling the story about how this client of mine has a boyfriend and she's also been having an affair with another guy, and there are two options. And the client that was in front of me said, it's funny you say that because I have two options too. And the name of one of them, get this, the name of one of the male options is the same name as the guy from my international client too. So Spirit started me off on that tangent to draw the correlation of what we had to get to for my client in front of me, soul progression. It was amazing. Like, I love it when Spirit does it. We can never, people always want to overanalyze. Why is Spirit saying that? I don't understand how that could happen. It doesn't matter. We just take it and we figure it out, whether it's at that time or years down the track. So anyway, that's enough talking, but I just was excited to tell you those stories because I see so many people and think certain things blow my mind in the way Spirit creatively communicates. So last week we had a lot going on. We had the full moon, we had the Lionsgate portal, truth and victory. Now, truth and victory are interesting energies because truth can be painful, but it is victorious because it sets you free. And the Monday mantra was set at receiving and committing to my wants and needs. So courage to refocus and transform our relationships with people and with money. Money is just an energy. Oh, this is another thing that happened. Kieran will send me sometimes your feedback about things, things that I screenshot and put on my Insta story. She sends those directly to me to see. And we got an email from someone who was complaining about money in reference to paying the exchange fee that I request for my services. And the person, what interested me was not the complaint, it was the energy behind the message. The energy was behind the message was, everyone's struggling right now with money. And, it's unfair that this is what's being charged, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, it's so interesting how this person, sure, they may be struggling, but puts everybody in that category. Now, this is really important in terms of being victorious when it comes to transforming your relationship with money, is to have an abundant energy. Because if you're struggling and you keep perpetuating that story, that's what you're going to get. Whereas I always tell myself, money just flows. Money just comes in when and there's this infinite supplies of it. And that's what the infinity, the portal energy was about. So wherever you're struggling, you need to be open to receiving and committing to that receptivity, because this is where that sabotaging energy was coming in that I was talking about last week, because this portal opened up and we went through it. You had your homework to help you do that. And it's to be able to look at your different pathways of least resistance, because any pathway you take is never easy. But sabotaging behavior doesn't mean it's necessarily in your actions. It is like everyone is struggling. Not me, I'm not. And you listening to this, you're not either. You are abundant. You are opening yourself up to be able to receive what is rightfully yours when you're here on this human journey. So look at things from a different perspective, because it's easy to lose faith. I can sit and complain about a lot of things too. And maybe I do sometimes for very short periods of time. But this is where my intuition will go, hang on, Gaia, that's a sabotaging thought, or that's a sabotaging energy, or that's not even your energy. You're picking something up for a client tomorrow. So what were you wanting to manifest during the energy portal? Because this week we've got the new moon coming in that's going to help us amplify even more. And what are you needing to be disciplined about? And this could be in your commitment and your discipline to do what needs to be done. Like your spiritual journey, every single person, you don't actually have to be meditating and doing all the spiritual things to be having a spiritual journey, is that you here listening to this are aware that this is a spiritual journey. But everything comes with discipline. I do all the things that I do every day because I want to, but also I am a disciplined person because I like to feel purposeful and that I'm making the most of my very limited time here on earth. So trusting your instincts and being proactive is going to give you surprising outcomes. And so your experiences over the last week are teaching you great lessons. Someone had put in the group chat they're having really intense dreams. I am too, every single day. And because my work is symbolism and messaging. So I've learned to decipher codes really well. So the themes of my dreams, I know are underlying messages of unhealed things within me that come up, like how they come up for all of us, just different levels of it. So mine is very unconscious because in day wake, when I'm awake during the day, I'm not thinking about these things, but at night during my dreams, I'm healing these things by what I'm dreaming about. And because of the symbolism in the dreams, I know exactly what the topics are. And sometimes it requires a little bit of analysis. So your trust is also that your energy knows where to guide you in terms of your healing experiences. As we moved through the week, we really open ourselves to healing so that we can recreate certain memories. So when I work with someone with my modality of soul progression, everyone I speak of during a session receives healing. I can literally see a line of light and energy going to the person. So it's not like, oh, I want to talk about your grandfather now. It's not just talking about it. I literally feel that connection going there. And memories are being recreated, especially when I'm going into past lives and accessing certain experiences that you've had. We pick out these moments, we being your spirit team, your spirit guides, your soul, and I'm just the person like the projector going, this is what we need to talk about whether you want to or not. And these things need to be understood and shifted out or back in for remembrance, because everything is really a remembering. We think we're creating new things, but actually we're remembering old things. And there are times in life where the alignment is so powerful that everything starts to fall into place and you begin to receive. So all those years of commitment towards your needs and wants, and sometimes hitting a brick wall, it's all beginning to melt like sun rays into your hands and you don't get burnt anymore. I found that those words that Spirit told me to use really interesting because the Maui fires happen. I know there's destruction every day in the world, but when we look above it all, something in that those people who have to experience such devastation is a spiritual thing. It's like, why do I have to experience this? And it's like those on the spiritual journey who can look at that whole situation, and this is not taking away from the pain and the hurt and the grief and the trauma, is that they don't get burnt anymore because this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. So those who survive and have to heal from such a trauma, the ones that are more looking at things from the higher perspective will be able to see how suffering will diminish from this because the worst has happened. You know what I mean? It's an interesting perspective, but please hear me out. It's not to take away that this, they asked for this. It is an experience that their soul needed to have for whatever reason. And so when suffering begins to diminish, because we all suffer at periods of time in our lives because we're human beings, it's the spiritual journey which helps us detach from the suffering to heal. And you start seeing why everything was as it was. And the Lionsgate portal energy began to shift a few days before the 8th of the 8th. Like I could feel it the Sunday before starting to move. The past, present, and future are all here in this moment for recognition of what you want and need, and it's all happening so quickly. So be sure to remember your passion and igniting your passion. Receive only the best for you and your relationship to and with everything. Life has a sequence of events and experiences. Most of it you can't see yet, and you need to trust that. So I don't know this person personally, but through my partner, his friend was greatly affected by the fire and lost everything, including their home, both their workplaces, and literally have the shirts on their back. And so I was discussing this with my partner in terms of the Monday mantra, receiving and committing to my wants and needs. When you have nothing, all of your material possessions gone. And all you have is breath. All you have is the person that you love. That to me, I know this sounds terrible, but please bear in mind my job and what I do and how I look at things. You are left with the most important thing, and that is detachment from all your material things, which that's what yogis and monks all aspire to, because we're leaving it all behind in physical death anyway. When I pulled the Soul Progression Oracle card on the day, I pulled this on a Wednesday in New Zealand morning for the collective, and it was trust. And for victory to manifest, we must trust. Trust means to refocus, not needing to know the outcome and when. Your instincts and intuition are guiding you really strongly at the moment. This is why Spirit is coming in very creatively with interesting messages to make you realize there's so much more than the black and white of life. And you might not even realize it, but people, places, situations, and experience are for your highest good. And you know that you are meant to experience this right now. A test to see if you are receiving with trust or sabotaging with fear the purity of the gift that awaits you. So the purity of the gift of losing everything is appreciating the life that you're left with. And this, everyone will have a different perspective based on their experiences. The trust card comes up for you today to remind you that you are being asked to trust your current situation and allow it to unfold. Rather than committing to the thing, commit to trust. Because sometimes when you commit to the thing, we can be let down. We can be, we're putting that expectation on other people. And that word expectation comes into this week's Monday mantra, which I'll go over with you shortly. It's one thing to use your human instincts to navigate our lives, but we need to use it simultaneously with our intuition. When something perceived as negative happens in our life, instinct is to feel fear, to feel unsafe. But at the moment, I'm getting a lot of information to just relax. Now, that's so much harder to do than what we think, because when we're relaxed, we truly receive the intuition based on the instinct we've had to move to feel unsafe or to feel insecure. So, our instincts might be like, oh my God, this has happened. I feel unsafe. I feel insecure. And then we go to trust because our intuition's going, hang on, I'm alive. Hang on, I've been saved. So it's really important that our instincts and intuition, we're really clear on how they're working together or not, because your intuition and instincts can work together to be aware of identifying what you need and therefore create what you want, because we sabotage ourselves when they don't work together and think one should be used over the other. Because we can use our intuition all the time, but our instincts have a mind of their own. We have been there. We think we trust and have worked on issues, but then something happens and we pull back and retreat, forgetting what we know, which is our intuition and our trust. We have to use our instincts and our intuition together to change past behavior and heal the source of our soul triggers. We are, after all, in a human body. We're animals that instinctively move from fight or flight, that want to feel safe. And we also need to act to commit to what we intuitively know we want. So what does your intuition say about your ability to trust and trust what is happening for you? And can you relax into the receptivity and change your instincts when it comes to self-inflicted obstacles? Really big message there from Spirit for us to deliberate for our soul progression. So remember, I am here for you in all different ways, and it's based also on your affordability. The top tier to see me, which I highly recommend, because when you invest, especially people who are coming truly with gratitude, and it's not gratitude for me, it's gratitude for what comes through me, because I don't know, Gaia doesn't know anything. Gaia is just the vessel that has been chosen to do this work. When you come open and you come and you invest and you know that you're spending time with me as the healing symbol for you, sessions are amazingly mind-blowing. That if you're wanting a soul ceremony, they are very exclusive. When I see you, I only see you. When I see Zooms, I'm back to back. But when I see a soul ceremony, your energy is with me for a long time and it's all for you. Ascension seekers, if you don't want to be on the wait list for a long time, there are prioritized Zoom sessions. There is the regular wait list. There are mini readings, which are 3 PDF questions, where please don't expect emotional support from that. It is purely I'm answering your questions based on whatever guidance I receive, and it'll always have a soul progression perspective because that is what I do. Soul magics you can ask for any time. They are energy shift spells, because I like to use that word to normalize it in a positive way. Remember, anytime we set an intention, make a birthday wish, it's a spell. So you can ask for Kieran for those. It's only $60 per year to be on this app. There are no other apps out there like this that are giving you homework and supporting you. There's the lunar calendar, there's the group chat, there is all the meditations and all the other resources available to you from this app that I've been creating for years. And Kieran is the person to go to for all of those things. And remember, any IT issues, please let us know. Don't sit silently in frustration, because we are not mind readers. So we are here to help you, and Kieran is direct contact with IT to rectify any situation. And we really appreciate your support in all of these areas. So soul33@gmail.com, or go to the website www.soul33.com to request what you want. But things are getting very busy for me over here. So if you're wanting to secure, especially soul ceremony sessions, they're getting booked out for next year too. Right, moving into this week's Monday mantra. Putting myself out there with bravery to express myself. Putting myself out there with bravery to express myself. Things have been on the periphery, so like the outer circle, are coming closer for you to look at. Now, this could be all smooth sailing, but there may be some conflict too. So this is like the conflict between instincts and intuition. So don't start freaking out like, oh my God, I'm going to get into a big fight. It may mean that, but it's not what Spirit was intending when I was writing this. This is why we have been asked to review the alignment between your instincts and intuition. You may have to be brave in sharing your story, your truth, and maybe even needing to say to someone, I'm being brave about this. Please listen and hear me. If there's something in which you really believe in, share it and know you are helping perspectives change for the better. It may also pay to look at how this will be a fresh start for you. Someone has been watching you and maybe unconsciously waiting to see if you meet the expectations. So even in relationships, there are unconscious tests that happen. It could be a relationship with your boss. It could be you're putting yourself out there into something. But what was coming through when I was writing this is this falls into a category of convincing someone that you are the real deal, that you can walk your talk, but it's all finally coming around to make you shine, to step up in a way that people go, here you are. Oh, I see you for who you are. Feeling safe is important in order for you to express yourself fully. So bravery and feeling safe don't always go hand in hand, because usually we have to be brave because we are feeling scared. But you want to feel heard, and someone is listening, and it may even be an audience that's listening to you, allowing you to express yourself. The new moon comes in this week to encourage and push your dreams along, to unlock in the ancient wisdom that contributes to your intuition, and with new technology. I found this message really interesting. So it's like everything working hand in hand, the old with the new. So really think about that as you go into this week's energy. Water your dreams with the nourishment that bravery brings, because bravery really puts you out there for you to go, hang on, I'm actually nourishing myself and what I want by speaking up now and letting people hear my voice, or letting one person hear my voice, however this is going to play out in your life. And the outcome will be from the trust in yourself to be brave. Find new ways to bring your dreams in. Any feedback that you receive from Spirit, from other people, need not be taken personally, but seen as an opportunity to make improvements and grow. Very interesting week this week. Remember, I am here for you. Soul ceremonies, ascension seekers, mini readings, soul magics, regular wait list. Emergency sessions I am doing, but it's waitlisted at the moment, and I open them up as and when I can. So Karen will just go let you know when I do. And of course, personalized meditations. There are people, some of you are so committed to the personalized meditation service I offer because you know how amazing the personalized meditations that come through me are, because I infuse energy into them, so you're progressing your soul in your own time. They can be done on a topic specific to you, or usually what people ask for is whatever I feel that they need. So that is also something you can do in your own time. Keep up with your weekly homework. You know, even when if you're resistant to it because you don't like my voice or you don't like the music track or whatever, do it anyway, because resistance is important to work through. And it's always, even if you fall asleep or you're a busy mum and you're just trying to do it in the car while your child's at rugby practice or soccer practice or whatever, just do what you can, because any time spent for yourself is healing you and progressing you on some level. Your Monday mantra is putting myself out there with bravery to express myself, putting myself out there with bravery to express myself. This may be in small ways, or it may be on a global scale. Who knows? Karen is the person to email for any help or requests with services. I love you all, and I so appreciate that you are here listening to me and coming to me for your sessions, for the guidance that comes through me. I am truly, truly humbled and grateful to be doing this work on this scale. I'll be in touch soon.